The card I'm going to show you today is from the stamp set Shoppe, and this stamp set is in the Occasions mini catalog. There's 10 different pieces in this stamp set. It comes in wood mount or clear mount, and the stamp I'm going to focus on today is this large teacup. Some of the other products that I'm using on this card include some of our Celebration products. Just as a reminder, Celebration is a promotion that Stampin' Up! Does every year. And with a $50 order, you get to choose any item out of this Celebration brochure totally free. So the products that I'm using out of this brochure today on this card are the Everyday Enchantment Designer Series papers. And these are the most gorgeous papers I think we've ever had at Stampin' Up! So I just want to take a moment and show you some of these different patterns on here. This is actually the one that's going to be used on the card. So while it definitely coordinates with the Fresh Vintage stamp set that's part of this suite of products in the Celebration brochure, you can definitely use it with other stamp sets like the Shoppe stamp set. So I'm going to use a portion of those papers as well as the Everyday Enchantment Designer brads. And these are the brads in here. There's 5 different designs. And this is the one I'm going to use on this project, the red brad. So I'm just going to get that out now, set it aside, and that'll give me room to work on the card. Okay, so getting back to the card, I have these shapes on here that might look unique to you. This shape is made with the Framelits label collection, and this is a new product from Stampin' Up! That's to be used with our Sizzix Big Shot. So the product comes in this nice plastic envelope, and there are 6 different Framelits in one package. So this one right here I pre-cut using this edgelet right here, using this framelit right here. And then what I'm going to do for the next layer is use the one just a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off so that I'm ready to use it. And this one will be done on Pool Party cardstock. And I just want to point out the colors here. This is Poppy Parade, Pool Party, and Very Vanilla. And I have to be honest with you and tell you that before I did this card, I've never put these colors together, but I really love the dynamic look that it has and the way the colors just pop out. Let's get started with the framelit and use the Big Shot to cut this out. I'm just going to pull my Big Shot over here. When I do the particular framelit like this, it's just a really thin piece of metal. So I need to have my platform on tab 2 down here, and then I place it on the cutting pad, put a cutting pad over the top to create a sandwich, and then I just guide it through my Big Shot, hold on to the handle here, and it'll crank out on the other side. Move the Big Shot out of the way and just show you how it comes out now. So it just pops right out of the framelit die, and now I have that layer ready to go for my card. So it's a fast and easy way to cut layers, and what's great is just how you get the 6 different sizes of the same shape so they all coordinate. Okay, the base of the card today, like I said, is Poppy Parade. This piece is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and I'm just folding it in half using my bone folder to get a good crisp fold. Then I'll take this piece. This is 4 1/4 by 2 inches, and this is from that Fresh Vintage suite of products, the Everyday Enchantment Designer Series paper. There's some stripes on the back, but for this particular project, I want this pattern to show on the front. So I'm just going to use my SNAIL Adhesive, put some adhesive on the back there, and then I'm going to scoot it over just a little bit from the edge. I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this layer and place that right on my card. And now I'm going to do some stamping on the smaller label that fits right inside. Again, this is Very Vanilla cardstock, and the stamp I'm using from the Shoppe is this large teacup. I'm going to use Poppy Parade ink, the same color as the cardstock that makes the base of the card. Now usually when you see me stamp, I'll take the stamp in my hand, tap it across the ink pad like this. And while that's just fine to do, you might even be able to see some of those lines on there. Because this is such a solid image, I'm going to set my stamp rubber side up, take the ink pad in my hand, and just tap the ink on this way. I just feel like it gives me a little bit more control, and I can make sure that I have even inking across the entire stamp. Okay, I think we are ready to go now. So I'm going to place this down, hopefully the center of my label, give it some good pressure. Sometimes I even stand up to do this part. And we'll see. It's a little bit crooked. I'm a little bit anal. So we're going to turn that over and do it again. Whenever you stamp, you always have at least 2 chances because you can use the front and the back. And worst case scenario, you just go grab another piece and do it again. Okay. You might have noticed a tiny bit of ink right there. I'm just going to use my finger and get that ink out of there before I stamp. And we'll try this one more time, and I'm just going to take the better of the two. So we'll see how this one goes. Okay, I do like this one better. So we're going to stay with this side, and then I'm going to take just a sponge. Our sponges are actually complete circles. They come in a set of 3, and then I just cut them into wedges. It's a little easier to hang on to, and then it goes a lot further too. What I'm doing here is just sponging some ink around the edge. Just tap it on the ink pad and kind of flick around the edges to just soften those edges a little bit. I'll go ahead and close this. To attach this layer to my card, I'm going to use some of our Stampin Dimensionals and just put one on each of the corners here. Just peel off the back as I place them to expose the stickiness. I use Dimensionals a lot because they just raise that particular layer up a little bit, give it just a little more emphasis and make it more of a focal point. So this is what I have so far. You can see the layering there and what that dimensional does, just popping it up a little bit. Now I have already gone ahead and made a bow out of our Pool Party Ruffled ribbon. And this again is the same color as this layer here. Before I attach this to the card, I'm going to take the red, the Puppy Parade brad from the Everyday Enchantment brad pack and just pry these ends apart. Usually when you use a brad, you punch your hole, stick these little tails through the hole, and then just pry them apart on the back of your project. This time I'm going to stick this on here like this and then just wrap those ends around. Kind of hide them in the back behind the ribbon. And now I've got that brad right over the ribbon like that. To attach this to the card, I'm going to use some of our glue dots. And instead of picking up the glue dot onto my finger, I just put my project, my element or piece right on the glue dot and pick it up there. That way it doesn't stick to my fingers and have a hard time coming off. And then I'm just going to press that down and the card is complete. So it's a fast and easy card with a really dynamic color combination. And just as a reminder, this is the T-Shop stamp set from the Occasions mini catalog. And then both the paper and the brad are part of the celebration promotion that's going on right now with Stampin' Up! And you can get either of those free with a $50 order. Thanks so much for watching my video. For daily creative inspiration, visit my blog or find me on Facebook at Jody Reinert Stamps.